Welcome back to this series of videos where I teach you basic techniques to start any knitting project. Today being our last video of the basic techniques series, I'm going to teach you how to knit in the round using the magic loop technique. So to begin with, we're going to cast on with the long tail cast on technique. 20 stitches. All right, let's make sure we have 20. Okay, now we have to look the center, so in this case it'd be 10 stitches here. You can mark the center with a marker, or you just can keep your fingers here. So we're gonna take the work to the center of our cable. We're going to separate the stitches in two, and we're going to put both halves in the needles this way. Okay. The working yarn has to be always in the back one. Okay. We have to make sure here that the stitches are not twisted. Okay, they're looking at each other. All right, now we put them side by side, so you look at them like this. This is our working yarn. We're going to put it over. Now we take out the second needle, and we're going to knit this first stitch to make it a continuous work in the round. Okay, this way it's all connected. And now we follow with any pattern that we like. In this case, I'm going to do a 1x1 ribbing and repeat it till the end. The first round can be a little bit hard at times because the stitches are a little bit more compact. Okay, now we have our working yarn here. We have to turn our work and insert this needle back to this work, the other half of our yarn, making sure that the stitches are always down. Right. Again, this part can be a little bit hard on the first round. After the first round they loosen up and it should be all right. We have the working yarn, we put it at the front, and this is the tail. I've left it too long. And now again we take out this yarn, sorry about that movement, and we start knitting again with the second half of our work. In this case, continuing with 1x1 rib. remember to tuck in this bit. If we have a gap here, please do not worry. Now we have our working yarn. I've made a mess to myself. We have our working yarn in this side. We put them both side by side, so all the work is down, and we put the needle back to our needle, to our project. And now we have completed the first row. When we work both halves of the needle, it's one round. Now we have our working yarn here, and we just continue knitting. The second row should be a lot more smoother than the first one, because the stitches have been worked already, so they're not as stiff. All right, so when we get to the end of our work, we just turn it, tuck the needle back in, or working yarn on this side, and we carry on knitting again until the end. That way we can work in the round, and we can make socks, hats, jumpers, even scarves, anything that you want to make in the round. Now you can always both needles, both ends of the needle looking to the right, so you have both tips looking at the right, both ends touching each other. You have the working yarn over here. Move your tail away, and always start by taking out the back needle and working in the front needle. And you carry on for as long as you'd like, because you're working always, when you work in the round, you're always working on the right side of the project, unless you're doing a sock, then you have to work the wrong side for the heel. But if you're working on a jumper or on a hat, you'll always be working on the right side. Okay, so the needles are always looking this way. You take it out and work with it simply like that. Okay, once again, both needles looking to your right. Don't leave a long tail like me. And now I'm going to show you how to cast off in the round. It is exactly the same way as in the flat. Okay, so we start with our first stitch, then pass it over, all the way till the end, like we're knitting in the flat bind off. So we continue casting off until the end of our needle. we don't have any more in this needle, so holding on to this one, we tuck back the needle into our working stitches, and we continue this way. And the last one. Now here, naturally, we're gonna have a gap. So my recommendation is to tuck in this first stitch, get yarn, and now we pass it over, and now it's more connected that way. Okay, and we just took out the yarn, cut off here, and just weave the ends, and that'll be, we have our knitting in the round project. I hope this series have been good for you. Now you know how to use all of them for your knitting project. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.